Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental, the Dental Road Warrior, returning for episode 33 in the series. Today is a follow-up, part 2 of the staff bonus episode, when I want to expand further on bonusing staff. Now, we talked about last time bonusing staff and should you do it, yes or no. I said absolutely yes. Having a game in place for the team and bonusing your team is critical in terms of a collection goal to have each month. But there's one additional bonus system that I never see, or virtually never see, doctors put into their practice, which is really a vital way of increasing new patient referrals. You know, some of the best ways, some of the best patients we get are referrals that come from our staff. And my question is, do you bonus people for that? And you can assume that, well, they should just do that because they work here, and they should send their family members and friends to come in here. And I'm not talking about bonusing them on immediate family that you may have. Maybe you treat them for free or treat them just for their lab case cost, and I mean, pretty much as a perk. You offer that perk, you don't bonus them on basically free dental you're giving their immediate family. But I'm talking about extended family members. I'm talking about friends and other people from outside the practice. And again, this is not a bonus you're also going to give to them for people they get for referrals during their course of work. That doesn't count either. You know, you don't have them, you don't bonus them for that. I'm talking about if they take time on their own to go out, and they're at a party, they're meeting some friends after work, or they think about some people that really could use your service, and they chat you up and talk about it, and they give out whatever offer you have to get them to come in, and they get them to show up. There's a lot of value in this, and we want to motivate them to refer many people they know as possible and be talking about you on their spare time. They're not obligated to do that, so it'd be nice if you give them a bonus kicker on top of that to give them an incentive. Because let's think about this: if every one of your staff, let's say you have 5 staff members, okay, if each one of them referred you even one patient from outside of the office a month, adding 5 new patients to your bottom line in your practice a month, basically, times 12 months is 60 more new patients you'd be getting by the end of the year. And these are all quality patients because these are direct, they're pretty much sales. They're sold, just like they talked about when patients refer you somebody. They're pretty much in. You've been vouched for, and this is coming from people that work there. So why wouldn't they come? So it's really important that we give them something to motivate them to do this, and it shouldn't be a few bucks. You make it a game. It's a kicker bonus on top of their existing bonus, where you give them a nice, lucrative bonus. How much should you pay them? Look, I see people giving out $10 certificates here, $25 gift cards, and that's a minor amount for what you're getting in return. Because if you figure out, again, the cost of patient acquisition in your market, usually it's going to cost you $200 to $300 just to market to get a patient to ring the phone or show up at your practice. Right? And there are no guarantees when they do that either. When you deal with referrals that come from your staff, these are pretty much guarantees, unless you really blow it when they get there. All right, so they're valuable. So if you're paying anything less than $200, you're ahead of the game. So let's say you were to give them even an astronomical bonus of $100 a piece. Would you pay your staff? Let's say if you have 5 staff and they give you 1 new patient referral a month from outside the practice, a quality new patient that you retained, would you pay them $500 in bonuses to get 5 new patients a month? I'll do that all day long, because that long-term value of that patient is very high. Now, again, that's the higher end. You can make it $50, make it $75. I like to do $100, and make them really be excited and enthusiastic to really go for it and supplement their income that way. Because it's a win-win situation, and the quality of patient you're getting, it's just no automatic. So I go do it that way, and you put a game in place. And what you can do is you can have an overall competition for the year. So whatever staff member at the end of the year refers the most, they get a super kicker bonus on top of that for the end of the year of an extra or whatever. Pick a number, $500. If they referred you, let's say, 20 new patients over the course of the year. Okay, now look, if you're a staff member listening to this and you think this is a great idea, don't go back and say, Doc, retroactively you owe me for the last 5 years. Okay, doesn't work that way. All right, but again, putting a game in place where you get your staff motivated or me more motivated to tell people about it and bring them in, it's a good thing. So now you have not only do you have them asking for referrals inside the practice and doing your proactive internal referral system, you also have them on their own time now being out there, be more big advocates and promoters of your practice. which is what we want. Getting people to, and not to mention the power of social media this day. Now they're not just talking to a few people they know directly. They can put it out there in social media and whatever. Let them set their own little, bonus industry out there, a little cottage industry going on, to drive people into your practice. Why not? Again, if you're that good and you have a great practice and they're spreading the word, why not put this system in place? And again, you have to get out of the mentality that, I pay my staff enough, they should just do the job. All right? We want them to go above and beyond the call of duty. We want to extend ourselves on their behalf as much as we possibly can. It's just amazing to me, how much we take them for granted. And they're a very valuable resource right now. Okay, and again, a lot of times, staff don't, doctors don't do this because they're, they don't believe their staff are worth it to do that, or they don't think they'll be motivated to do it because they don't believe in the practice. But there's a deeper seated problem there if that's the case. If you have staff that are like that and they don't think that positive about the practice or you, well, you have to look at that. Maybe how you're being and how you are and how the practice is, and the kind of people you have working there. But for staff, if your staff are worth it, if you're investing, the kind of money you invest in your staff, right, the best advocates are people that talk you up that are not you. Because what other people say about you is much more powerful than you can say about yourself. If it's coming from your staff, your manager, or even your assistant who works side by side from you every day, it's much more powerful than if it's coming directly from the office or some kind of marketing piece or on social media through your office or whatever. When you have your 5 people or 3 or 4 or 5 people in the field every day, talking you up, pushing people in the door. And again, like any other bonus system, there's stipulations regarding, what type of family member that comes coming in here, what type of friend, how when do you pay the bonus? At what point do you give them the bonus? Once they're, you solidify them as a patient in the practice and they've gotten into recare, then you can decide, okay, the bonus is paid at this point. But again, we're missing the boat here if we're not throwing them an extra, incentive to refer patients from outside of the practice on their own time, and because we want them to do that. And again, if you're, I know the frustration is like, well, they're not doing this enough, or they should do this more, or whatever. Well, let's like I said, give them an incentive, make a little game for them, extra motivate them. It's well worth it because most of us don't have a marketing budget. If I asked you, what is your marketing budget on an annual basis for generating new patients, it's not usually high, or we don't really have one. Our insurance, the programs that we're on, we use that as our marketing budget to bring in new patients because we know they're going to come in, or we think they're going to come in because they're just going to call from insurance, or they're going to call passively. You have to have some kind of non-passive system, or marketing going on that's much more proactive to drive people on the door. That's why I talked about having a proactive internal referral system. You want to get your staff being outside the office being proactive as well too, and giving out not just your business card, but giving out incentives to get them in the office and following up and being excited to do that because they're going to get some bonus from But it's a win-win for everybody. They're telling people to come in, they get great dentistry from you, a great practice to go to, that now they found the dental home, staff gets rewarded for this, everybody feels good about the whole thing. But we can't go cheap on staff. I always say when it comes to staff, don't go cheap on them. And again, if you don't think they're not worth it, then why are they working there? All right, they're not worth bonusing nicely or giving you a good salary, top of the line or whatever, then why are they working there in the first place? All right, so again, just some insights again on bonus because I wanted to add that on top of that. And this will also help them achieve the overall bonus of the practice each month. So it helps them on 2 levels when they do this, right? And that's the whole goal. The whole goal here is motivation. I just did a lecture, recently about this at nighttime, and every doctor in there is talking, staff's the big problem. They're not motivated. Okay, well, look, motivation comes from you. It starts at the top, and it's part of how you are is one way of it, but also what you do for them on their behalf keeps them motivated as well too. Okay, so again, hope this was helpful. Some insights, really, just again to add to the last bonus video I did. I'm back with episode 34 before you know it. And thanks for watching. If you love the video series, and please share this. Helps get the word out there and help other people. Thanks for watching.